Hey everyone, welcome. So today we're going to talk about what might just be the most overlooked and honestly the most impactful career path for Gen Z, working in the public sector. That's a pretty bold statement, isn't it? It kind of sounds like a riddle. I mean, why would a generation that's so focused on making a real difference be sleeping on the one place where you can literally shape the future of a country? Well, that's exactly the puzzle we're going to unpack today.
You know, we all have that picture that pops into our heads when we hear government job. But the world has changed so much, so fast. The real question is, has the public sector actually kept up? Let's find out.
So, first things first, the government job stereotype. Before we can even look at what's new, we've got to understand that old, kind of dusty image of public service that's still stuck in so many of our minds.
This quote just nails it, right? It's that feeling of being stuck in molasses, of slow progress and zero energy. And you know what? It's a totally valid concern if it were still true.
All right, section 2, debunking the biggest myths. Okay, let's really get into this, because it is time to tackle these old ideas head-on with what's actually happening today. We're going to break down the 3 biggest myths about a career in the public sector.
First up, let's talk about climbing the ladder. The myth that you just have to wait your turn for like 20 years. The reality, so different. Modern public sector orgs are actually building out mentorship programs and really clear leadership tracks specifically to fast-track new young talent.
Next myth, the idea that government is where innovation goes to die. But what we're seeing now is this massive shift. They're actively bringing in a startup-like culture, adopting way faster methods, and they're genuinely hungry for fresh ideas.
And finally, the big one, bureaucracy. The myth is that you're just paralyzed by endless red tape. But the reality is a huge move towards agile methodologies, which is just a way of saying they work in short, focused bursts to get stuff done way faster, cutting right through that old school paperwork.
Okay, section 3, security, balance, and impact. So, with those myths busted, what does a career in the public sector actually offer you? Well, it pretty much boils down to 3 things that are becoming more and more valuable: security, balance, and real, tangible impact.
Let's talk about stability for a second. In an economy that feels so unpredictable, where private sector jobs can disappear overnight, job security isn't just a nice little perk anymore. It's basically a superpower. It gives you a solid foundation to build your life on.
And that stability is really just the starting point. The real pull here is the huge national impact. The work you do directly affects millions of people. You're not just chasing profit margins, you're literally building a better, more equitable country. And you're doing it in a system that actually values your time and promotes a real work-life balance. Part 4, innovation under the hood. So I mentioned innovation, but let's see what that actually looks like on the ground. We're going to go under the hood and check out the real engine of change in modern government.
So this is that agile model we talked about. Instead of these giant, super slow-moving projects, the new way is to work in these quick cycles, or sprints. They figure out what people need, build a solution, test it out, and then keep making it better. It's just smarter, faster, and way more in tune with what citizens actually want.
And if you need proof, just look at Digital India. This is not some little side project. We're talking about a massive, nationwide mission to totally reshape public services using technology, connecting over 1 billion people. It's creating brand new tech jobs and using data to make smarter decisions on a scale that's just mind-blowing. And you know what the most exciting part is? This isn't just being driven by some senior guys in an office. Young, talented people are already in these roles, leading huge projects, shattering those old stereotypes, and proving that you can build the future from the inside out.
So now for the final section, a career aligned with purpose. We've busted the myths, we've seen the innovation, now for the most important part. How does all this actually line up with what Gen Z wants from a career in the first place?
What's so wild about this data is how perfectly it mirrors what we've been talking about. Look at the top priorities for Gen Z: meaningful impact, growing their skills, and having a good work-life balance. Those aren't just buzzwords. They are the exact pillars of what the modern public sector is offering right now.
So the crucial point is this direct connection. You value social impact? Boom! You can lead projects that actually change lives. You want to keep learning and growing? The public sector is pouring money into training to future-proof its people. You want meaningful work? You get to focus on building a nation, not just building profits. I mean, the match is undeniable.
At the end of the day, that old, dusty image of a government job is just that, old. The public sector is going through this quiet revolution, turning into a hub of innovation, impact, and real purpose. It's evolving, and it's evolving fast. The only question left is, are you ready to lead the change?